fats, low protein, low carbs. Okay. Or I'm going to do high fat, low carb, high protein. Or I'm going to do low fat, high carb, low protein, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Guess what? All of these work. But let's start here. Because we have to hone habits here before we can even think about trying to do something like this. Second of all, these are specific and time bound for how long you can be doing them, okay? So when someone comes in with that sort of nutrition, right, we can already see how this person can increase their habits in terms of their diet, right? Well, maybe substituting the bagel out, right? Maybe having something protein rich in their breakfast, right? Instead of having coffee as soon as they wake up in the morning, maybe just having more water, okay? Instead of having another coffee at 10:30, perhaps substituting with a seltzer or something along those lines, so we're not raising our cortisol level so high from having a lot of coffee. 2 p.m. slice of pizza, it sounds like they got hungry, they were having a snack, right? Maybe we could supplement that snack with something that's a little bit more nutritious, right? And nutrient dense as opposed to a slice of pizza, right? Steak and mashed potatoes, I don't really have a problem with that. But again, if that's what this person is having consistently throughout the week without any variance in their proteins, then we'd have to have a conversation about that as well. But you can see how I just picked apart this person's diet in 3 seconds compared to this person saying, no, but I want to know how I can lose weight next week. Well, you want to lose weight in the next week? Don't eat, right? You could. There's another study on that. I think that is the actual Minnesota experiment. They did a study where they limited a person's calories. I think it was to 500 to 800 calories. The person lost 12 pounds. For the group of studies, the group of subjects lost 12 pounds, I think in 4 weeks. Then they measured the same amount of calories for the next 4 weeks. They didn't lose a pound because remember that 3-pronged approach? Your body's trying to save against famine. So they didn't lose any weight for the next 4 weeks. Then they put them on a calorie increase or calorie surplus. They gained their old weight back and then they gained extra weight. So again, with someone who comes in like that, the things that this person needs to do is work where they are now. That's why I said on the last one, alignment, where are you right now? So if this is you, we can already see how we can start to increase. It doesn't have to be insane diet, restricted diet. You can't eat past X amount of time in bed. You can't eat carbohydrates. Carbs are good, carbs are bad. There are no bad carbs. There are no bad fats. There are no bad proteins, just poor prescriptions of them, right? There are no bad exercises. There are no bad medicines, poor prescriptions of them, right? So for some person who needs more water, or we'll get into more sleep, right? One of the most important things, it's not about jumping on the new bandwagon of the next latest and greatest diet, right? If your diet looks like, sugary items for breakfast, sugary items for dinner, no sleep, etc. I mean, we can go down a rabbit hole, as you can see. Everybody understand this? Okay, cool. This one's going to be tough to decipher. Okay, when I was doing this up, there's actually lines here. Okay, I don't know if everybody sees that, but so I was shown this by a good friend of mine a while back about. I took it as base of support. He was using it in a different way, but I'm going to use that as a base of support. So when thinking about your life, right, it's important, and your nutrition, it's important to think about what your base of support is, okay? Now this is probably something that nobody's ever talked to you guys about, but I think it's very important for everyone to know, right? We have to think about what level base of support we have in general, okay? So these are all items that are going to just fill our support levels, we'll call it that, okay? This is our base support. This is I exist, okay? 95% of people are here, okay? No judgment. They just exist, okay? Everything that comes up in their life, okay, they go to right here, okay? I have pain and injury up here. Reason why is because when we get above this level of support, pain and injury occurs. It could be, again, unwillingness, give up, retire back to our previous level. So each level here, okay, is a level of support, okay? Most people are down here. They don't ever have the ability to get to this point, but their pain and injury occurs right here. Does that make sense? Because they can only go to this really support level. Does anybody know about stocks? Well, I know Matt does, but I know Marcelo. There's support levels that usually stocks can go down to, okay? So for most people, they're at this level. I exist. So when my job sucks, my sleep sucks, my diet sucks, oh, my back. I hate my life. You understand?
Yep.
That's the base of support, okay? For other people, it's, hey, they're at level B, okay? They're, hey, I know I feel better when I exercise. Hey, when I drink a lot of water, I feel really good. You know what? I started meditating. My life has gotten so much better. I'm feeling less stressed. And you know what? I try to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Okay, great. When they get to this level and they're like, shit, my job, my car, I'm back on my car payment, my boyfriend just broke up with me. Hey, but you know what? I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm going to move. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to drink water. I'm going to sleep. See the difference? Compared to this person doesn't ever say, oh, my back, I just exist. I'm just going to go through my day. Okay? I'm not going to eat today. Fuck it. Like, my diet sucks. Okay. Then we get to C, right? Oh, I started tracking my nutrition. I joined a group of friends who are really into their nutrition as well. We are doing book meetings. I mean, fill those up with whatever you want, C and D, right? What I think most people need to benefit from and not think about is that we need to increase our base of support. Ad infinitum, which means like infinitely, okay? Because most people are operating at this level. And when we get here, we're not actually present to what is going on in our lives, what's going on for the future. We're not thinking about the future. We're just thinking about, oh, how can I just get to the next day? And that is not a way to live. And then, again, if this person wants to then go back to, this and stay there, does it really line up with them? Because maybe when they get to here, they're feeling better, but then they get back to here and they're like, I just exist again. You understand? We have to increase our levels of base support. For everybody, that could be different, okay? That could be, your base level of support is your family. Base level of support is, always having food on the table. Base level of support is having, 3 to 4 meals a day. Base level of support is having, good amount of vegetables in your diet, organic meats, etc. Having, fruit, having snacks around that are healthier than, just having chips and, Funyuns. They make those, right? I'm like, I used to eat those. I'm watching you, Cindy. Things like that, right? We have Muscle Up Paleo here. They're a paleo provider for nutrition. And you can get meals delivered right to a refrigerator. There is so much opportunity out there to eat better, eat healthier. But, again, it all comes down to, again, where you're aligned, where are you now, and what's your base level of support? Is it, I just exist? Then maybe the nutrition and the health really isn't important to you, and that's okay. Then you really have to think about what are the things that are going to get you there. All right, so this is another image. Oh, this is actually, I take it from Fat Loss Forever book from Lane Norton. He took it from somebody else. So we'll pay homage to this guy, Eric Helms. So, sleep and stress. I put this up here next to a sleeping baby. Reason why is because if you can see down here, at a base, okay, is behavior and lifestyle. Think back to the previous slide. Base of support, right? So for him and for nutrition, when we're looking towards increasing our nutrition, increasing our uptake of vegetables, increasing our uptake of just food in general, sustainability and adherence is the first most important thing besides behavior and lifestyle, okay? Behavior and lifestyle, think sleep, which we'll get into in a second. When we want to actually, we'll take one more minute, or two, okay? Sustainability and adherence are the most important things, okay? And I talked to you guys about this earlier. If you can't already sustain a base of support that's going to allow you to be, really positioned to have success with your diet, you won't have success no matter what. Again, keto, paleo, etc. If they're not in alignment with where you are, there's no problem with that. Work where you are and we can help you with that, okay? Next thing, if we're looking for, fat loss, right? We're looking at caloric deficit. Again, if you have a Fitbit, regardless of whether or not it tracks properly, if you're getting 10,000 steps in a day, you're burning a certain amount of calories. If you're intaking less and putting out more, right? Calories out, calories in, you will lose weight. There's no question about it, okay? Next is exercise. So you see how it's nutrition first. Exercise, self-monitoring, protein, carbs and fat, supplements, okay? But how is it in this day and age? It's like this, right? The first thing that people always say, I found this supplement, it's green tea extract, or I found this supplement, it's makes me go to the bathroom 3 times a day. Or I found this supplement, my doctor recommended it to me, he said, you can lose weight, it's a carb burn, or something like crazy. And I'm like, where did they even come up with this stuff? So in our society, we are so perceptive to, and so receptive rather, to buying, shakes, buying more garbage that we think is going to help us lose weight. When if you don't have the base of support, behavior and lifestyle to actually lose weight, quote unquote sleep, right? Then why are you doing it in the first place? You're stressing your body more, right? We all know that stress is a killer, right? Sleep is so important as well. If we're not sleeping, why are we even concerned about our nutrition? When you're not sleeping, you're not even improving your body's ability to recover from whatever it is that you're doing. If you're waking up 6 or 7 times a night, you're only having 4 hours of sleep, there is no sense in even thinking about nutrition. No sense. Until you can actually get 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night, uninterrupted. That's why I tell people who come to the gym even, oh, you didn't have that much sleep last night? I go, why are you working out? You're putting your body and digging into a further hole, okay? That's where pain and injury occur, right? Sleep, poor job, diet, exercise, etc. So when we're sleeping, we're allowing our body to restore. I mean, we're in a country now where millions of people in this country cannot fall asleep. Think about that. Like a basic function of sleeping, turning your body off, relaxing, we can't do it because we're functioning off cortisol all the time, right? Cortisol, I show it to everybody, should be higher in the morning, coming down at night. Melatonin should start to increase at night and peak at around 3 a.m. so that we can stay deep into REM sleep. Most people can't do that. So at a base, if our behaviors and lifestyle is not conducive to us losing weight, we're not going to digest food properly, our cortisol level is going to be higher, we're going to be more irritable, we're not going to have, our sex hormones aren't going to work, pregnancies, overweight, less mindful at work, etc., not good workers, sleeping early, 1 p.m., dragging, coffee, I need it, coffee, I need it, going back and forth through the whole rigmarole. Make sense? Okay, last thing. End of show. That's funny. So honing daily habits, okay? I've spoken to everybody about this, okay? And it's within my practice and within my scope to be very, very receptive to these things, okay? First thing is there are 24 hours in a day. Apply work and rest appropriately, okay? So that is getting into circadian rhythm, okay? There are only 24 hours in the day. You have 8 hours of a job, maybe say 2 hours of eating, okay, if you're actually chewing your food, okay? Okay, so what are we doing for the other 16 hours, if I did that math correct? No, 14 hours, so 12 hours. What are we doing? Are we applying work and rest appropriately, or are we working to our gills and not allowing ourselves to relax and recover, okay? You have one life. We have to really live it, which is the next one. You will one day die, get over it, and get living, right? So developing purpose, that's where that alignment sheet comes in with priorities, right? What are our priorities? And we have to align ourselves with whatever those are. And if weight loss is not one of them, or we want to feel better, or we feel very intrigued when we talk to people about our kids or things like that, get living, enjoy that. Take opportunities to do things that are going to bring you happiness, okay? Third, water, okay? Half of someone's body weight in ounces per day as a starting point. So again, base of support, right? If we're not, I'm watching you drink that water. If we're not drinking the water, okay? Again, nutrition and diet, what's the point? We really have to do a better job of telling people to drink water. And water is, we should all be very, very thankful. I've been in countries where kids don't have access to water. And it's kind of unfortunate to see that people here are dehydrated. When you go into sub-Saharan Africa, like I was, it was like, whoa, there's not that, I would say there's much more of an issue there than there would be here, but people still don't hydrate. It's kind of odd. 4, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day to maintain great circadian rhythm. So I hear people all the time, oh, it's Friday, I can sleep in. Well, yes and no. I mean, you really do want to keep rhythm with your day-to-day life, because that's going to really allow yourself to get into better rhythm with the sun, the moon, allowing yourself to sleep at night, allowing yourself to wake in the morning feeling a lot more energized than you already are. 5th, the earth spins, the sun, the moon correlate with our energy patterns. We need sun exposure, we sleep with the moon. I've never seen so many people who are vitamin D deficient in my life, okay, after working inside of the gym, okay? Taking vitamin D or getting outside in the sun. Everybody knows why coffee works. I think I've said it before. Coffee works because it allows your body to think that it's sunny out. So if you're ever feeling tired, go outside in the sun, 15 to 20 minutes, walk, all right? It's restorative. 6, water moving, blood, and proper digestion are essential and for daily routine. So drinking water, moving blood, exercise, sweating, digesting our food, chewing our food, okay? Which most people don't do. They're scoffing it down right away. I can be guilty of that as well, but the more conscious you are of actually chewing your food, the better relationship you will have with your food. You'll actually feel less pains, less injuries, less knee aches, body aches, etc. 7, recovery, blood flow facilitates recovery, and healing faster, get moving every day. So as I said earlier, the 10,000 steps a day or 5,000, whatever your base of support is, set up the goals for yourself, right? Just say, hey, I know I walk X amount a day, or I know I could do something when I get home instead of watching another episode of Game of Thrones, even though I love that show. Let's get outside and do something. I try to do something every day, even if it's just a walk, okay? Again, digestion, food is a 36 to 44-hour investment. Sit down, chew your food, enjoy your food, set the phone aside, have a conversation. Most people nowadays, again, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, and I'm sure you guys know that because I always reference them. But they talk about how everybody's on their phone now. Even myself, I'm guilty of it, right? When you go out to a restaurant, you see people that are like, and now just imagine if the people were all looking up at this, like their phones were in the sky, and now think about all the restaurants you're at, and people are just like this. They'd be looking around, and like, wouldn't that be so odd? But we think it's so normal for us to be eating our food like this and looking at our phones, okay? So sit down, relax. Food is a precious thing. You should be thankful that you even have the ability to, have that conversation with your family and really enjoy your food, okay? Because it's a very important time for you to actually recover, rest, digest, allow your parasympathetic nervous system to be engaged, as opposed to you running on the go, etc., where you're not actually allowing your body to actually digest the food. So people will tell me all the time, I have gas, I have bloating, oh, my stomach, I only go to the bathroom once a day, or sometimes once a week. And you can already tell that there's a digestion issue occurring already. And then when they get into bed, they're not sleeping, so they all tumble one another. So allowing yourself to digest the food, allowing yourself to relax, be present in the moment, not eat till you're Thanksgiving full, chewing your food, those things are going to outweigh any of the dieting habits that you otherwise would have gotten online or paid $20 for to look your best. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you.